What's going on here, everyone? Niall Fortner here to talk about Netflix's The Defenders. These Netflix shows, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, have all led to this group known as The Defenders. Like its big screen blockbuster counterpart, The Avengers, The Defenders bring us our Netflix Marvel heroes, establishes them, and brings them together, even though these characters really don't get along. They have to put the differences aside and help the community. Now, if you're watching this video or know about Marvel or been keeping up with this whole cinematic universe on Netflix, I'm sure you already know a thing or two about these heroes. But for those who don't, Danny Rand, also known as the Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Matt Murdock, also known as Daredevil, they realize they won't accomplish their goals beating the villainous group known as the Hand working solo. So they realize they need to form a group known as the Defenders to stop the Hand and save the Big Apple. My favorite part of this would be the interacting and coming together of all these characters. The show starts out with all these heroes doing their own separate thing. Everything they are doing relates to every single one of them. I really enjoyed how the show brought everyone together. These characters are emotionally damaged and are not used to the idea of working with new people, even though they could all benefit from working with one another. This is how I enjoy seeing superhero teams come together. I really dislike when a writer or director just shoves all these characters together on the screen and they just randomly become friends. If anything, it is really interesting to see how they come together. Even though they're all from different backgrounds and walks of life, we have the opportunity to see them come together, and I think that's really nice for the show. They even have Luke Cage talk with Iron Fist about social issues, money, politics, white privilege, law enforcement, economics, and race. Luke Cage talks about how Iron Fist has privilege and how he is a millionaire and how they are completely different, but yet they still find a way to come together. It's not a heavy focal point on the episode, but they do bring it up as one of the themes. It's honestly a really powerful scene that has a message for the viewers. It really shows how these heroes are being humanized on screen. The only difference is they kick a little bit more ass and fight more crime than, let's say, you and I personally do. Every character is really unique and carries a ton of charisma. The problem that I had with Iron Fist Season 1 is that we really didn't get enough time with Iron Fist. We got more time on the company, and Iron Fist actually felt secondary in his own show. Iron Fist in Defenders has more development, and his goal of taking down the Hand is much more clear and easier to understand. The Hand does not really come off as all that cold-hearted as the series is making them out to be. Speaking of the Hand, we've been hearing about this ninja organization ever since Daredevil. In the Defenders, we finally get to see the 5 fingers of the Hand, and the people who run this organization. Sigourney Weaver from Aliens and Avatar is pretty much the HBIC of this organization, and her performance and character development are really a breath of fresh air in the Marvel cinematic and television universe. Like we all know, lately Marvel villains have been that great, but she's one of the better ones, trust me. You know, at times Sigourney Weaver's character is really wicked, violent, but at the end of the day you understand her motive, and she doesn't come off as the usual bland villains we've seen before. The setting and the tone of the show are a balance between Jessica Jones and Daredevil. Throughout the series it felt more like a Jessica Jones and Daredevil TV show with friends. This is okay, but sometimes the tone of the shows make the show feel just a tad uneven in some episodes. For instance, Iron Fist makes a couple of jokes, yet the lighting is lit like a dark, depressing episode of Daredevil. I love the show's use of color, how each character has a dominant color in each of their scenes. For instance, Luke Cage's color is yellow from the yellow shirt he wears. So whenever he pops up on the screen, you see a yellow light filter somewhere in the background. So I thought that was a really nice touch, and it just makes the show scenery and editing look more fun and interesting. This is a very small nitpick, but I feel like Marvel has spoiled me. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage all look like, blockbuster movies when you watch their television shows on Netflix. I remember thinking how Iron Fist looked like a cheap CW network television show, and The Defenders has that same kind of look. I just expect Marvel at this point to have everything look like a really big budget production. The fight scenes in this are honestly really beautiful and shot very well. The action and fights are much better than Iron Fist. In episode 3, the Defenders have a hallway fight, and that hallway fight was honestly my favorite because the choreography wasn't that shaky camera nonsense. The transitions were very smooth as ice, and you can clearly tell what is going on. These Netflix shows are usually about 13 episodes, and at times, that can feel a little long, especially when you have episodes like Iron Fist that feel like filler and that you can skip. However, The Defenders is only 8 episodes long, and most people, I think, really will enjoy that. I think maybe just 1 or 2 more episodes could have, been used to explain a couple more of the subplots and incidents, and maybe to flesh out a little bit more of the Hand. I do like the show, but it's not the big build-up I was honestly expecting. I really think Marvel has spoiled me, and I'm sure fans, including myself, expect, something bigger and a little bit better. I'm sure fans were expecting this to be the big build-up with heart and tension, much like the Avengers. The Avengers saved the world, while the Defenders are sort of the B-level street heroes when you compare them to the Avengers. If you're ever in the hood and your cat is stuck up in a tree, you can call Luke Cage and Jessica Jones to help you. You'll have to wait until Luke Cage is done having sweet Christmas sex with Rosario Dawson or whoever, but you'll get your cat back eventually, little girl. Overall, I'm one of the few people who would have liked a couple more episodes, honestly. That way the Hand comes off as a little bit more threatening, and some of the subplots are discussed. Performances are honestly really well done, and the actors and actresses continue to impress. Netflix's The Defenders works best when its central characters are bouncing off dialogue off one another. Everything is, really hectic around them, but yet they find a way to have interesting conversations and really get to know each other. It's much better than Iron Fist, I can tell you that. But it's still not as good or offering anything new like Luke Cage or Jessica Jones did. It's still a really fun show that could easily be binge-watched, and most of my nerd juices were really satisfied. All that being said, I really enjoyed this show, and this show makes me intrigued for future Marvel shows. I can't wait to check out The Punisher in his own series, and I'm honestly interested in Luke Cage Season 2 and whatever Marvel shows come to Netflix. Definitely enjoyed this show, and I think most fans will enjoy this show. Not too many Easter eggs for Marvel comic book fans. It really is a straight to the point type of show. Like I said, only about 8 episodes or so. Ooh, look at the way Luke Cage got punched there. One of my favorite scenes. See, I told you Iron Fist gets more time to fight in this series, and we get to see more of his kung fu techniques and not just him saying, "I am the immortal Iron Fist." Anyway, if I had to give this a rating, I would give this a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed this show. Sigourney Weaver is great, Luke Cage is great, Rosario Dawson is great, and this is one of the better Netflix shows. It's right up there with Daredevil Season 1, especially Season 2, and Luke Cage. Not as good as Luke Cage, but it's somewhere in the middle. So those are my overall thoughts. I also wanted to say thank you to all the people who recently checked out this video or subscribed. We're very thankful. I'm thankful, and I'm glad that this thing is growing. I'm still a little new at this, but getting a little better. So thank you to all the people who checked out this video and recently subscribed. Thank you all, and I hope you all have an amazing day as always, and just take it easy. Thank you all so much.